Hello and welcome. I'm Vanessa McCamley. I'm a leadership and performance specialist for Link Success. And today I have one of my most amazing clients with me today is Britt Butler, who is the general manager of Portland Aluminium for Alcoa. And what I love about Britt is from a leadership perspective, she invests in herself first. She doesn't just invest in her people. I often have the scenarios where I have leaders bring me into organizations and they say, Vanessa, can you just fix my people? But they actually don't want to invest in themselves. But with Britt, she's been investing in her leadership journey for, many years. And she works out what works, what doesn't work, and then she brings me in to help with her people. So, Britt, welcome. Great to have you here today. And thank you for sharing your journey with us. Can you tell me what was the driver for actually wanting to do a 90-day leadership coaching program with myself almost a year ago?
Thanks, Vanessa. Yes, it was almost a year ago now. It's certainly flown by. I was starting a new role with Portland Aluminium, and prior to that, I'd worked with a lot of colleagues, about 30 years in the mining and metals industry, and one in particular, I believe, was a client of yours who reached out to me to work together a few times, and as part of that, mentioned that he'd been working with you. And then I thought, well, I need to get to know Vanessa a little bit better and understand what Link Success can do for me. So we had a great chat to start with, and I felt very comfortable in that chat and felt like you really understood what I was up against at the time. And then I thought, well, we need to start some coaching, and reached out on a day when I was really quite troubled and balancing that whole issue around family, around starting a new role, being in a new place, entering a workforce and a team that needed to transform, and thinking, how on earth am I going to get this done? Needed someone to work with me to work on what's that clarity around where to start first, where to really dig in, but also how do I show up as a leader? How do I make this a different situation to what I could otherwise? So that was where I started, and why I thought it was best to work with you.
And what was that feeling like at that time? If we cast our memory back 12 months ago, what did it feel like to be overwhelmed and fatigued at that time? What were you experiencing?
I think it was a daily case of brain fog and knowing that my energy was in the morning, but that was depleted by the time I got to the office, and then still needed to show up for everyone here. Also, a very large organisation in Alcoa, needing to work through that and meet people and go through the onboarding process, but at the same time needing to start initiating projects and not sure how to get that done quickly when I was in that brain fog, but also to the family situation, travelling backwards and forwards from Victoria to Queensland. When I called you, I'd missed a flight. I was not really having my head in one place or another. So quite overwhelmed at that point, and realising that I needed to work on that.
So what was it like then partnering with me? What did it actually give you when you were feeling overwhelmed and fatigued at the time?
I think, Vanessa, you've been a great listener for me and are able to take what I share with you, and it's usually a big, long story about what's overwhelming at that point in time, and providing some clarity and reflecting that back to me in a way that it is really quite straightforward and easy to consume. And then I can use that time between our meetings to go away and reflect on what that means, and how I'm going to show up differently. But also the fact that I'm held quite accountable, and there's actions each fortnight when we meet, and quite bite-sized as well, so that I can actually start working on those. The fact that that clarity extended to doing a PRISM profile and understanding exactly where my gaps were. And I've not done a profile like that before, and it really was quite enlightening to say, gee, there's the two areas I need to show up better in, and started working on that very quickly. So yeah, it's been a ride so far.
And I think that was the really aha moment there when we looked at your PRISM brain map and looked at where the behaviours sat within the brain, and we worked out there were two areas which were your strong point, but you actually weren't using them because you thought that you had to act and behave in a different way for that particular culture. And then once we could unleash those two behaviours, everything changed, didn't it? Can you
That's
talk
right.
through that journey?
Yeah, so new organisation that runs with a different business model to what I had experienced before. As a new leader, you want to make sure that you're not burning any bridges or stepping on toes straight away. So I was quite tentative when it came to really stretching into that powerful position and being the leader and being strong with that. And the second thing was I knew that I needed to start making some changes. The systems are very strong in this business, not knowing where to make those changes versus where I should just dig into the systems further. So knowing that I had the freedom and really just unleashing that and saying, well, I can initiate programs and improvements as I see fit, just really leaning into that. That's been so wonderful. Had 90 days of full on in initiating extra actions and extra programs, and it's already yielding benefits.
So let's talk about some of those benefits. What are some of the benefits from doing the 90-day program did you get?
I think that the confidence to know that my style is what this business needs and I need to jump into that even further. I think the clarity on what actions I could take as a bite-sized way to get me there. The fact that something as simple as brain breaks during the day. So take the breaks that I need in my calendar to make sure that I'm showing up well throughout the day, keeping that energy up. I think apart from that, it's being able to reflect back. Here's some of the problems I'm encountering, and it's jumbled up in my head, but as soon as I talk to you, we can reflect together and I can come up with something that's very clear and a direction going forward. So as part of the 90 days, there was some benefits for me as a leader, and I think that it extended further to those programs that I was initiating, and the team that I'm leading started to see me in a different light and started to really respond to that style of leadership. It's been great. Loved it.
And then talk to me about, because we've been working together for almost a year, and to see you grow over that year and grow your confidence and grow, I guess you talk about with me that one of the benefits of the program was the amount of clarity that it gave you from each coaching session, and obviously documenting the coaching notes for you. So it's a very clear action
Yes.
plan. What have you, I guess, experience that's different from this leadership program? Because as I mentioned right at the start, you have invested in yourself over many years. What has been different about this leadership coaching program versus others that you've done previously?
I think in the past it was around a mindset shift and building confidence through skills building. So I spent a lot of time on that and gained a lot from those programs. Your program was different because it was starting to work in the here and now. What is what I'm encountering right now, and how do I show up as a better leader right now? But using that as a reflection piece so that I can talk about where the concerns are with my team or how I'm leading the team here or what issues are arising, and then being able to get a very clear direction out of that by being a sounding board. But also you've known that I've done that work before, know that I've got the skills and that I'll do the work. Absolutely commit to that. I think it's being able to have some detailed coaching notes to go back to. This is what I thought, this is what we agreed at the end, this is how I can move on from it. So it's a really quick process. I like the fact that in 90 days we're able to achieve a lot because we both put in a lot of effort and commit to it. Have the clarity and the detailed coaching notes, that means that I can then just jump straight into what I need to do. It's not a lot of time spent on ruminating or sitting with it for a long time. It's just, right, now we've got clarity, let's move on.
And to give you credit, Britt, I can bring a leader to water, but I can't make you drink. The fact is that you're very action orientated. You love having a vision, and then you love actually executing it and making it happen. And I think that's why it worked really, really well, because we're both very accountable. We do what we say we're going to do, and we show up for one another, and we respect each other. I
Yes.
think is a really, really big thing, which then led to you actually bringing me in to do the neuroscience of safety leadership training for your group, which I got the pleasure to travel to Portland, which was amazing. Talk to me about the results from that. What did you see from bringing me in and actually bringing me into your team?
Well, I think the work we had done before you came in was based on what we all know about safety leadership, and that's led through experience. And what we found was some feedback from the team that they were looking for real skills building rather than our knowledge sharing in those sessions. We have an off-site session once a quarter. So after some of those, people were primed, I think, for you to come in. But the way we explained it is that you've got the neuroscience piece, that there is evidence-based leadership skills that people can build, and the fact that you were energetic during the day, people could stay engaged for the whole day and really learn. Benefits from it, I think, is that people now realise that they've got within themselves as a leader everything that they need to get on and do safety leadership really well. There's, I think, a group there that know this material already that you presented, but we're able to see it in a different light, which is, well, how do we then influence others in the group to do that? Also, we're running a general culture program and leadership program with a consultant on site. And it was really important to me that we weaved the program that you did, Vanessa, on the neuroscience piece with the general leadership program that we were doing. So the fact that it was quite meaningful to people and it was timely, that the group are already in coaching mode around safety leadership and already investing in themselves that way. And now they have the detailed skills. And I have to say, even just the fun things on the day, the group was able to share quite openly and understand that how they're showing up as leaders then influences the safety performance of the site. So the benefits, I think people super engaged, came out with some skills and could understand that this is within their control to improve on site. Yeah, great day.
It was a great day. And I think that psychological safety was definitely created in that day where people could, like you said, open up and actually share. But it was amazing at the end. I remember you coming up to me and going, wow, Vanessa, how do you have energy all day? Can I have what you're having?
That's right. Yeah. It's quite unique that people will stay engaged the whole day. And I think that was how you showed up with the energy that you had.
Yeah. And that's because I'm passionate about making a difference in the lives of others. So I bring my whole self, that's for sure. So how has Link Success Coaching and the workshop that I've done for your safety leadership team personally impacted you? And what advice do you have for other leaders who are looking to go on a similar journey?
I think the impact it's had on me is that 1 year in, I'm completely satisfied with the way the team is responding to my leadership and able to really outperform where I thought we might be. So the fact that we're in a good space with the team and the operation here, that is through me showing up well and then also with the team showing up well, I think. So getting me to that point had a real impact. I think the family piece as well is that I have more energy now at the start of the day, at the end of the day, not just for my team at work, but also for my family. And that was super important to me to have enough time to show up well there as well. I think in terms of the year and the coaching style, it's a sprint program, which I really love. It's not long and drawn out. It's action oriented, 90 days, and you can really achieve a lot in that period of time. The other thing I think in terms of impact is that I've been able to bring a very broad range of issues and concerns and obstacles that I'm working through. And you've been able to take all of those on and listen in a way that means that it's impactful, because I have a set of actions that is very doable for the next 2 weeks to work on that, and I'm seeing the impact with my team. So yeah, it's super helpful program, and again, very different to what I've done before. So very happy with the results.
Well, Britt, thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights. Hopefully, this will also help other leaders who experience that overwhelm and fatigue and feel like you're on that treadmill where you want to add the most impact you can, but your plate's so full, you don't know where to focus, which happens to the best of us. So thank you, Britt, for joining us. I really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone, for joining us today.